Lying to a court. It's bad. One weird trick to win your lawsuit. Lie. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't lie to courts. On Monday, one of the Ohio House's hired gun outside counsel lawyers, Sarah Perez, filed a false affidavit in court about my internal complaint from when I worked in the House. Court! Sarah Cherry, have you sued the House? Well, no, I have not done that yet. My EEOC charge is still churning at the EEOC, at the administrative stage, after almost 2 years. So no, I am not in court yet. No, this affidavit I'm speaking of comes as part of Elliot Forehand's lawsuits against the Ohio House. If you follow Ohio politics, which I know many of you do, you might be vaguely aware that former state representative Elliot Forehand is suing the Ohio House. He has sued them over public records access, and he's suing Allison Russo in the House and others for defamation. These filings are all on the Ohio Court of Claims website. You can read them yourself. He's trying to get access to documents that were part of outside counsel investigations at the House done by the Perez Morris law firm. And one of those outside counsel reports was done on my complaint of discrimination, not my EEOC charge. They have a different outside counsel firm handling that. No, Perez Morris did the report on my internal House complaint while I still work there. Big budget for outside counsel there. Huge expenditures of taxpayer money to try to bury anyone who speaks up. I tried to get all the documents from the Perez Morris work on my complaint. The House gave me hundreds of pages of documents, mostly things I already had, but the House said, no, you can't have the notes from the witness interviews. Those are, quote, personal notes and not public record, so you can't have them. The House was like, trust us. What we wrote in the report is backed up by these witness statements. Just trust us. So the affidavit. Affidavits are sworn testimony, just in writing instead of spoken in court. The person signs it under penalty of perjury, and it becomes evidence that the judge can rely on. It's filed with the court as evidence to support a motion or filing. So here's what happened on Monday. In Forehand's defamation lawsuit, he's trying to get witness interview notes, and there appears to be some kind of complicated discovery dispute. Discovery is where the two sides in a lawsuit exchange documents. They have to share these with each other so each side can prepare their case. Discovery is very broad. Parties basically have to hand over everything to each other, pretty much. So in these court filings from Monday, the House filed a signed and notarized affidavit by lawyer Sarah Perez. She's talking about her work on her report on my complaint. Sarah Perez interviewed me during that investigation in 2023. Sarah Perez interviewed Kim Ziano Hartman, the woman who is Chief Administrative Officer at the House. Here's what Sarah Perez's affidavit says. Quote, the complaint raised by Sarah Cherry involved allegations of sex discrimination against one employee, Kim Ziano Hartman. Specifically that Mr. Ziano engaged in disparate treatment based upon sex because he allegedly engaged in harsher scrutiny and disciplinary actions against Sarah Cherry compared to other female employees for the same conduct. Whew, the incompetence. I never let my client sign an affidavit unless I am damn sure it is true and accurate. I never let Allison Russo sign one unless I was damn sure it was true and accurate. This is Kim Ziano Hartman. She's not a he. She does not go by he. Sarah Perez knows that because Sarah Perez interviewed Kim Ziano Hartman. This is my complaint. It contains several concerns, none of which are that another woman was treated differently than me. Sarah Perez knows that because I emailed this to Sarah Perez. I did not complain of differing treatment between women. I complained that women were treated worse than men. Allison Russo knows that because I told her. I told her the basis of my complaint was worse treatment of women versus men. She was well aware. And my concerns included retaliation against a young woman for talking about a sexual assault allegation against a man in that workplace. Now, in my 3 hours that I spent with Sarah Perez and her associate, I did tell them about another woman, my colleague, Amber Epling, having almost the exact same pattern of logging her time as me. Both of us, Amber and I, emailed the Clockmaster email account roughly 20 times over this couple of months period. But only I, and not Amber, received a disciplinary memo from Kim Ziano Hartman. Ziano. I don't remember what last name she was signing at that time. For, quote, not clocking in and out numerous times. This was in the couple of months after disgraced former Speaker Larry Householder was indicted. We were all working from home during COVID. Every day was a chaotic fire drill at that time. And Amber and I were on a daily, or every other day, I think it was daily for a little while, conference call with our leadership. And it was during this narrow window in the morning that staff were permitted to clock in. We were using this new system because we were all in work from home. So I will note that during that time, both Amber and I did account for our time in accordance with policy. Describing my complaint as containing that specific allegation, and only that specific allegation, of differing treatment between two women against Mr. Hartman, no less, is not true. It's easily proven to not be true. I just showed you the email trail. I just showed you the complaint. So just to recap, the filing submitted on Monday to the Ohio Court of Claims by the Ohio House and Allison Russo contains an inaccurate sworn statement, testimony, by outside counsel House lawyer Sarah Perez. She didn't respect the court enough to accurately state Kim Hartman's gender. She didn't respect the truth or the court enough to accurately describe my complaint, to accurately describe the very concept of sex discrimination. Again, here's my complaint, and here's Sarah Perez's affidavit describing my complaint. This is the culture of cover-up and silencing and entitled, I want to say incompetence, but it is deception, that persists today in the Ohio legislature, and Allison Russo is participating in it. This is not something you can just pin on the Republicans. This is a disturbing example of powerful people acting untouchable in a situation where regular people would fear consequences. You don't lie to a court. To submit an affidavit like this, swearing it's the truth, under penalty of perjury, the audacity, thumbing their noses at the court, thumbing their noses at us. Look how they call this the Cherry investigation. Like I'm the guilty party, when I'm the one who raised concerns about conduct there at the house. They call it the Cherry investigation. It's nasty work. All right. That's all I've got for you right now. Next time, I think we'll explore this further. And pretty soon, we'll talk about Representative Rodney Creech and how this culture of silencing and punishing women continued after I was gone. Allison Russo could have stopped it, but she did not. And as a result, more women suffered. See you soon.